Our final award of the night, Atlantic Business Magazine's CEO of the Year for the entire Atlantic region. So I'm going to call on Mr. Hubert Hutton to come up and present this award, please. Hubert, and he's right here. Thinking ahead, thank you, sir. This award is presented to the individual who is truly exceptional across all judging categories: corporate growth, industry leadership, and community involvement. This year's winner is a champion of transformational change, an innovation advocate, a consummate problem solver, and creative thinker. And while he is both a strategic and visionary corporate leader, he never forgets that his most valuable resource is the 8,500 people that he is privileged to work with. With their help and support, he saw his company's shares listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange in October 2016. That same month, they completed the $11 billion acquisition of the largest independent electricity transmission company in the United States. He is a proud Newfoundlander and Labradorian from the small community of Pound Cove, Bonavista Vista Bay, a person whose parents taught him that working hard and being authentic were key elements of success. Atlantic Business Magazine's 2018 CEO of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, the President and CEO of Fortis, Barry Perry.
Wow, I usually start our AGM in St. John's with, yes! Thank you. This actually reminds me of one of our annual meetings. We get this kind of turnout in St. John's. I think we have the largest AGM in all of Canada these days, our sort of mini Warren Buffett thing in Newfoundland. Fortis, Fortis is a great company. I'm proud to be the third CEO of the organization. Before I talk a little bit about that, I want to thank the Atlantic Business Magazine for the award. I want to sort of congratulate the other winners here tonight. It's fabulous to be here. I want to thank the people that nominated me as well. I really do appreciate it. So Fortis, Fortis, for people in the room that don't know about us, we started a long time ago as Newfoundland Power. In 1885, actually, it was 30 shareholders. So we've always been an investor-owned business, never owned by the government, always been an investor-owned business. And we're in the utility business. We own 10 utility franchises across North America now. Newfoundland Power is where we started. It was 100% of our company 30 years ago. It's down to 3% now. So I read John Risley's comments a lot in the magazine, and I think we're an example. I hope we're an example of some of the things that John talked about, the focus on growth, outward looking, staying rooted at home though, and being part of the community, and that's what you get with Fortis. Our head office is still in St. John's, Newfoundland. We have 60 people that oversee this large business now. Our balance sheet's close to $50 billion, and I think we're the largest public company east of Toronto for sure. One of the largest in Canada and in the top 15 utilities in North America. And that's, that's a lot of space there. So, I don't want to say we're just getting started, but I can tell you there's a lot of runway in front of Fortis. When we're ready to grow this business again, we will grow it again. And, we're growing it right now really well. We're spending about $3 billion a year in capital in our utilities across North America, and that's allowing us to grow nicely. So I'm very optimistic. We got a great team. We got a great team across North America at this point. So I want to, thank all the employees of Fortis. I wouldn't be here without them. They're such a great team. I do want to also recognize my wife, Nadine. She's here with me tonight. My two girls are, I'm sure, listening somewhere. My daughter's in Tasmania, and my other daughter's back in St. John's. They've been a big part of my success. I've never had to worry about my family. I travel a lot, and it wouldn't work without them, so I want to thank them for that. I will have to say Nadine is the reason I'm at Fortis. I was in Montreal working for Abitibi, the newsprint company. That, that's a tough industry. It's probably going away soon here. And I left them in 2000 to come back to Newfoundland, to join Newfoundland Power as the Chief Financial Officer. And I remember talking to my wife and said, listen, I'm happy with my job at Abitibi in Montreal. And she said, I think you should look at that job. So the rest is history. I joined Newfoundland Power in 2000, became CFO of Fortis in 2003, and now I'm obviously the CEO of Fortis since 2014. So with that, I want to thank Hubert and his team again for such a great job. This is a fantastic event, and I'm looking forward to meeting more of you as the evening goes on. Thank you very much.
So right now, Barry and I are going to have a little Q&A over here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There you go. Check, check. We're going to sit, yes, we're going to sit down and have a chat. Now just calm down, just like we can get a couple of cups of tea if you want, just like back home. So Red Rose, was that your tea of choice? Use the microphone.
Trying to figure Tetley.
There, Tetley. Okay, there you go. First question done.
No coffee.
Now, Barry, you are from Pond Cove in Bonavista Bay. 9 kids in your family?
That's correct.
Jeez Louise. And as a child, is it true that you picked blueberries to help pay for your school clothes?
My wife is saying, don't get him going on that.
Oh, come on. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, my family, it was 9 kids, so, come August, we picked blueberries, and we always had new clothes when we went back to school. One set, that was it, but that's how my parents funded it. So we all went up, and the Bonavista Peninsula burned over in 1961, so there was lots of blueberries. So we ended up picking a lot of blueberries.
Are you sick of blueberries now?
I don't eat blueberries.
No?
Yeah, don't eat blueberries.
And how many salt beef buckets of blueberries would it take to pay for that tuxedo you're wearing?
Well, put it this way, we used to pick 60 gallons a day. So that's a lot of blueberries by hand.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so that's, anyway.
Now, cannabis is about to become legal. And Fortis was really, really serious about making money. Why don't you just turn the lights back on at the Sprung Greenhouse site and have the biggest hydroponics operation in the world?
Oh, not a bad idea.
Think about it.
Thanks.
You've worked at the Come By Chance oil refinery.
I did for 5 years.
And at Abitibi Pulp and Paper.
Yeah, for 6 years.
Oil, paper. Were you ever a cod fisherman? Because if you were, you'd have the bingo card of industries with the arse out of them.
I do love cod fishing, but I was never a fisherman.
You're like the Grim Reaper for industries. You'll get involved.
Hey, the refinery's still running. That's a good success story.
Yes, I can smell it from here. Now, in 2000, you took a job as CFO with Newfoundland Power. 3 years later, you became CEO of the parent company Fortis. And in 2014, you became the CEO, right?
That's correct.
And now, because of Muskrat Falls, my power bill is going to double, they say.
That's possible.
No question. I just wanted to say, frig you.
That's why I'm glad Newfoundland Power only represents 3% right now. So.
Well, use some of the other percent to keep my goddamn power bill down, you arsehole.
We're trying our best.
Get picking your berries. Now, but if the power bills do double, and maybe some people will say, I can't afford to live here anymore, I might have to move away, will this be a case of, in Newfoundland, Labrador, a case of the lights are on but nobody's home?
I don't think so. I think we're going to figure it out. It's going to be tough, but we're going to figure it out.
Okay. Good answer. What's your advice for young entrepreneurs? Now, you've started off in the berry bucket industry. and you've done very well, billions of dollars. You're keeping lots of Newfoundlanders and Labradors employed. There are a lot of people now looking around, especially millennials, are saying the world has changed. It's harder to get started, etc. What would you tell young people who want to get going in Newfoundland, Labrador, or all across Atlantic Canada?
Well, I'm not sure it's harder to get started. I think the opportunities for young folks these days are somewhat limitless, frankly. For me, it's simple. Good education, work hard, do what you say you're going to do, maintain your integrity, and stay humble. If you can do that, and things are not going to happen. You're not going to be, a billionaire by the time you're 30, unless you're, win the lottery of some sort. But a career is a long time, and I think you got to sort of grow over time in that career. So that would be my advice.
What I'm hearing is buy a 649 ticket. Now, you've conducted business in Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. You are NAFTA. How would you sell Atlantic Canada to Donald Trump?
Atlantic Canada's got a lot to offer. Frankly, it's a beautiful place. We got great people, hardworking people, highly skilled people. So I think, we have no issue doing business in the U.S. In fact, we're bigger in America now than we are in Canada. So, and, frankly, we fit in really well. We get deals done down there, and we're confident. So we're doing well. The economy's picking up in the U.S. Our businesses are doing extremely well down there. We got to get Canada moving a little faster. The tone's got to change in the country, be more positive towards business. And I think, I'm seeing that now because I'm spending a lot of time on both sides of the border. So we really got to start being more positive towards business, and I think we'll pick up.
Awesome. Now, how did it feel for you to walk down in New York City, Wall Street, to ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange and see the Newfoundland flag flying there?
It was special. Probably the most incredible thing I've done in my career. And we had a lot of our team there, and the New York Stock Exchange folks were like, they were great. They're almost like a family. It's amazing. You think about the New York Stock Exchange, but they have a lot of relatives working there at the New York Stock Exchange, so they treated us like amazing. So I don't know if I can top that, Mark, to be honest. That was special.
Yeah, it must have been amazing. I once spray painted Newfoundland rules on a building in Brooklyn. Which is a very similar experience. Now, it's 20-year anniversary for this event. Where were you 20 years ago?
20 years ago, I was 18. I was working at Abitibi, I guess, in Montreal, I think. Yeah. So that's where I was.
And where do you think you're going to be 20 years from now?
I hope I'm in Port Blanford, cod fishing, enjoying my boat. So definitely, I'll be retired. That's for sure.
Any berry picking?
Maybe some partridge berries.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. And a big thanks to Hubert Hutton, everybody at Atlantic Business Magazine. We'd like to invite you out, folks, for a reception. Have some cocktails, chat, network a bit. And please, God, we'll see you again next year. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, everyone.